All right, here we are at Sebring Slot Cars. We got Jeff Knoll starting on white, Phil Sloan on green, Gary Worden on blue, Jim Wood on yellow, Rick Eichhoff on purple, and Mike Chmielewski on black. And this will be the Pro Series LMP race. Track! Guess I better not wreck there. I'm already a lap down to you?
No, we're even, or I'm a lap behind you.
I don't think so.
I was dead last starting off. So
We're racing for the bottom.
We're racing for last here. Thanks, Victor. Both have been passed. Just been last.
Well, at least we're consistent at something. Can't stay with you. Yep. Somebody about to lap me. Mike about to lap us both. Take him out.
Take him out so you don't lap me, okay?
Too late. Too late. Done got by us. We'll have to wait till next time. All right. How far behind are we? Only down one lap. All right, Jeff Knoll, Mike Chmielewski, Phil Sloan, Rick are your leaders. Rick Eichhoff, Gary Worden, Jim Wood tied for about fourth place. Laps at heat. Jeff Knoll, Mike Chmielewski, Phil Sloan at 23 laps. Rick, Gary, and Jim all at 22. Fast laps. Looks like Mike Chmielewski with a 5.014 on black. Jeff Knoll a 5.087 on white. Phil Sloan a 5.106. Rick Eichhoff a 5.243. Gary Worden a 5.279. Jim Wood a 5.340. Phil, is that you about to pass me again? That's not very nice. See ya. I can't hold the rest of them back for you.
I didn't want to pass them around.
I appreciate that.
No, it's for me.
I know. I just didn't want to give you any more than I had to give you. Gary and I are racing for the cellar.
Oh, under. Whoa.
Yep, you're in.
Ready.
trust them Northerners. What happened? In the heat? In the heat. Jeff Knoll and Mike Chmielewski, Rick Sloan are tied for first. Rick Eichhoff, Gary Worden, Jim Wood. Oh, not getting Jim Wood. Rick Eichhoff, Gary Worden tied at 45 for fourth place. Jeff, Mike, and Phil all at 46. Jim Wood one lap down at the bottom at 44. Laps that heat, everybody got 23 except for Jim. Jim got 22. Fast laps. Jeff Knoll, 5.085. Mike Chmielewski, Phil Sloan, a 5.061. Mike Chmielewski, a 5.120. Rick Eichhoff, a 5.117. Gary, a 5.255. And Jim Wood, a 5.395. I'm getting lapped and lapped and lapped. Maybe this motor will come in today anyway. Car's driving nice, it just don't go fast enough to wreck. Got a four-way tie for first still. Got Jeff Knoll, Mike Chmielewski, Phil Sloan, Rick Eichhoff all at 68. Gary Worden 67, Jim Wood 66. Rick Eichhoff picked up 23 laps that heat, everyone else 22. Fast laps, Jeff Knoll a 5.023. Phil Sloan a 5.114. Mike Chmielewski a 5.122. Gary Worden a 5.233 and Jim Wood a 5.462. No problem passing there, was there?
Not at all.
Gary just got another lap on me.
Track.
I would have braked when I got there.
When you got there.
Mike Chmielewski, Phil Sloan, all three tied at 91. Rick Eichhoff, Gary Worden tied at 90. Jim Wood down to 87, 4 laps behind the field. Laps at heat, Jeff Knoll, Mike Chmielewski, and Phil Sloan all got 23, along with Gary Worden. Rick Eichhoff 22, Jim Wood 21 on red. Fast laps, Jeff Knoll 5.002, Phil Sloan a 5.052, Gary Worden a 5.175, Rick Eichhoff a 5.178, Mike Chmielewski a 5.211, and Jim Wood a 5.507.
Probably. I've raced a little bit of everything. When I moved down here, this is what I got to race. And I got the state wing car races, but that's about it. Wait.
All right, Jeff Knoll, your leader with 115, finally pulling away from the pack a little bit. Phil Sloan, 114. Mike Chmielewski, 113. He just finished red. Gary Worden, 112. Rick Eichhoff, 112. Jim Wood down at 109. Laps at heat, Jeff Knoll, 24 laps at heat. Phil Sloan, 23. The rest of the field all at 22. Fast laps, Phil Sloan, 5.040. Jeff Knoll, 5.048. Gary Worden, a 5.169. Rick Eichhoff, a 5.251. Mike Chmielewski, a 5.261. And Jim Wood, a 5.352. Racers ready? Gary's gonna mess around and let me get ahead of him. What's going on, Gary? Might be a screw down in there. Jeff Knoll, your leader, Phil at 138, Phil Sloan 137, Mike Chmielewski 136, Rick Eichhoff 134, Jim Wood 132, and Gary Worden 129. Laps that heat, everybody was 23 laps that heat except Rick Eichhoff at 22 and Gary Worden 17 with a problem on a lane. Let's go back to racing. Woo. Too slick of tires for that purple. Which was that, the red? Yeah, or Scale Auto. All right, Jeff Knowles, your leader, 162, two ahead of Mike Chmielewski, 160. Phil Sloan, 159. Rick Eichhoff, 156. Jim Wood, 154. Gary Worden, 151. Laps that heat. Jeff Knoll and Mike Chmielewski each 24 laps that heat. The rest of the field at 22. Fast lap, Jeff Knoll at a 5:07.3. Mike Chmielewski a 5:124. Rick Eichhoff a 5:199. Phil Sloan a 5:279. Jim Wood a 5:357. And Gary Worden a 5:403. We're going to leave it on the other this screen. Black. Race over. All right, we're going to need to get pictures. All right, good race. Looks like Mike Chmielewski wins. Nope, Jeff Knoll wins with 184. Mike Chmielewski 183. Phil Sloan 181. Rick Eichhoff 179. Jim Wood 176. Gary Worden 173. Laps that heat. Mike Chmielewski and Rick Eichhoff each got 23. The rest of the field 22. Fast laps. Jeff Knoll with a 5046. Rick Eichhoff a 5100. Mike Chmielewski a 5108. Gary Worden a 5291 and Jim Wood a 5387. Okay, got to get pictures and let me